Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alvin here. I'm sure I am no stranger to HTD, right? And also to Dways, right? I'm going to cut my story, try to be as precise as possible. I know Nancy Long for over a decade already. During the past, I'm an entrepreneur. I own restaurants. I am a restaurateur. I'm also a celebrity chef. And Nancy Long comes to my restaurant pretty frequently. Whenever she comes, most of the time, I will just, locally call branja her. I will not charge her money. But she is also aware that I am a master trainer. I train other corporations in terms of leadership, productivity, as well as also philosophy and human nature. I'm also a strategic advisor to many companies. So 10 years ago, about a decade ago, she used to engage me from time to time as a freelancer to train her team. During then, she doesn't have got a company of her own, but she was with Isogenic at the time. So I've trained Isogenic and I built her team. Years has gone by, but we still keep in soft contact because she is my FB friend as well. And to be very honest with you, for the last, before the pandemic, for the last 5 years, I'm in a semi-retirement mode already. I'm really retired. I have got a villa in Bali and I stationed there. And it was a pandemic that actually brought me back to Singapore because I have my aged parents to take care of. And ever since that, I'm back to Singapore because, like you guys, I'm not vaccinated. I couldn't get back to Bali again. So I was more or less trapped here, but trapped for good because I have to take care of my parents. One day, I met my old friend in the gym again. And there's no other than Dr. Zhu. Why? Dr. Zhu, besides being a doctorate holder, Dr. Zhu is also a sportman like myself. I'm a national bodybuilder. Dr. Zhu is a national strongman. All right, so we all do weights. So we have a lot of things in common. So when Zhu bumped into me, okay, and I asked Zhu, because I know Zhu has always been with Nancy for the last 10 years, okay, doing different network marketing company from Gen S to Isogenic, all right, and then now they do their own together. I asked, how is Nancy, Zhu? Straight away, Zhu told me, no good, because Nancy Long is involved in a lawsuit, okay, with ex-partners. A two-person, okay, I wouldn't mention name, but been Nancy Long brought into the company because she might afraid that she doesn't have enough financial stability or financial prowess to hold on the fortress, and she invited these two quite unscrupulous person to join in. At the very start, Dr. Zhu has already said, Nancy, Dr. Zhu adamantly said, I disagree to bring these two-person in the picture. If we have not enough money, we can start small and start slightly slower, but do not get this two-person because he has already smelled a rat with this two-person at the time. Nancy Long, now that I learn of course, being the smart aleck that she is, right? Brush off Zhu with this kind of sign. Belittling, like you don't know better than me. So this two-person got into it, and finally this two-person decided to actually cheat the company, cheat the two of them, right? And when they have been discovered, they were sacked. They were asked to leave, but they also stole a huge amount of products. Really, cartons and cartons of HL Span H-tesis, okay? And therefore, all right, Zhu, okay, Dways, and of course Nancy, engaged them in a 3-year-long battle lawsuit. A 3-year-long lawsuit. So when Zhu saw me in the gym, Zhu told me that Nancy is a little bit of a dipshit. I told Zhu, I say, maybe I can help. Why? Because as an entrepreneur for the last 30 years, I myself have my fair portion and experience of lawsuit with other people that attempt to basically cheat me as well. And out of 7 lawsuits, I've won 7 lawsuits, which makes me quite an experienced person. So I think I can help. And moreover, Nancy is also my friend. Not anymore. I'll tell you why. Right? Which is also my friend. I'm most willing to help because I'm trapped in Singapore. It was a lockdown period. You can't get back to Bali. There's no ticket there. I have to take care of my parents. I might as well take care of another old lady, Nancy Long. So I went and I stayed behind the screen to give them the strategy to work with the lawyer effectively, because lawyers are not perfect. At the end of the day, I can tell you seriously, if you don't get yourself involved in lawsuit. Whether you win the lawsuit or you lose the lawsuit, the lawyer will still make money from the lawsuit. So whatever lawyer you goes to, the lawyer will should tell you initially, yes, your chances of winning is actually pretty okay or pretty high. Why? Because even if you lost the lawsuit, the lawyer will still make money from you, and it's a lot of money, amounting to a few $100,000. So when I enter into the picture, first thing, it was somewhere around about beginning stage of just slightly before the lockdown. It was in February, February of 2020. I met Nancy over at Bedok area, at Bedok Central, where there is a Burger King, the sport complex, swimming complex. Right? When we sat down, I said, Nancy, how many years we have not met physically? A couple of years, right? So she began to narrate everything to me. And the first thing I told her, I said, Nancy, the first thing is to get hold of the CCTV footage of the stolen products. No matter how by hook or by crook, you have to go to the security room and secure that footage to initiate our first police report. That was my initial advice to her. Is the genesis, the beginning of my 3 years lawsuit saga with her. I've always been her strategic advisor from behind, and Dr. Zhu, is my witness. So over the years, our meeting basically over the period of a lawsuit, every 1 week, every 2 weeks, okay, I have to meet them, either in the office, but we always like to do it basically in a more relaxed place. We always go to the beach at East Coast. We buy things, we go to from a hawker center, and then we will sit at one of the benches and so on, okay, and light up some candles and so on, and eat and discuss about the lawsuit. And I'll give them all the ideas how they should talk to the lawyer, how they should negotiate with the lawyer. They won't. But in expense of what? In expense of spending about $1 million for the lawsuit. She already paid approximately $300,000 for lawsuit. And I say, Nancy, this doesn't look right. That is about 2 years plus into the lawsuit already. They have gotten the initial verdict of victory, but they still have not been given the verdict of the total amount of sums that they will be awarded yet. So I told Nancy, I say, even if you award, and even if the court award you with a certain lump sum, but the amount of money the lawyer is charging you, right, Drew and Napier, as expensive and Lee and is just as expensive as Lee and Lee. The amount of lawyer that charge you is by $1 million. When you get the awarded sum, you will still be not enough to pay your legal fee. And then if you cannot pay your lawyer, the lawyer will sue you for bankruptcy. So I decided, I said, let's make one more strategic move. I transfer her from that particular law firm to another new law firm, which she's currently writing on right now. And then I make the new law firm lawyer, okay, write a letter to the old law firm and demand, okay, that they will be released without condition. Whatever has been paid as legal fee is paid, but subsequent charges of $700,000-$800,000 that Nancy still owe them cannot be charged again, or else I will have to file a complaint against them based on the notice of taxation. The key is taxation, right, to the law society that they have been charging too high unscrupulously. My technique works. On top of that, not that she don't have to pay the remaining $700,000-$800,000 of law legal fee. There's a deposit of about $75,000 or $76,000 with the law firm too. I even requested that even the $75,000 must be returned to Nancy Long and Dways. Just happened that on that month, Dways sales is running very low, and she even had problems. She told me, confessed to me, that she haven't paid rental of the premises for 2 months already. So the $75,000 or $76,000, okay, came in handy to actually settle all this stuff. That was about a year plus back ago. Now, recently, a lot of things basically has happened. But let me give you a little bit more of the background of exactly my involvement with Dways. When I was doing the lawsuit with Nancy and Dr. Zhu, they tried to also entice me to come in to be one of the distributor of Dways. They say, Alvin, you can be one of our pioneer. But you see, take a look. I'm already a retired or semi-retired person. I've no interest to basically get back to active business again, particularly got to do with network marketing. Because why? I don't like the idea of I still have to go and call people, the cold call, and take care of downline, take care of upline, take care of whole family, and the whole family throw tantrum at me. I don't like that idea. I say, no, I will help you in a lawsuit, but I will not be interested in doing network marketing with you. So months down the road, and I realized one thing. I realized that Dr. Zhu's product, because when I'm doing the lawsuit with them, Dr. Zhu and Nancy did from time to time give me some supplement just for me to actually try. I'm very healthy. As a guy in my 50s, I'm very healthy. I really do not require much supplement. So I pass some of the supplements to my relative and friends who are not so healthy. And you know what? Zhu's supplement works almost like miracle. Okay, if he's a little bit slimmer, I think his miracle that Zhu is capable, like Jesus Christ, to walk on water. So I hope that he go and slim down and then he can walk on water. Okay, right? His supplement is no ordinary. So when I look at Dways, I begin to feel that Dways is not ordinary way. It has got a very, very good way, potentially fantastic way to move forward. That is where I told Zhu, and then I told Nancy to talk. So I invited them over to my place, and I'm a celebrity chef. Of course, I do cook quite fanciful. For a good talk, I say, Nancy, I'm not interested in entering into the binary, but we can work together. I can help you on a strategic corporate, the strategic advising. That means I'll be a strategy advisor to get Dway from here to corporatize it, and then eventually in a couple of years' time to possibly might even go towards a route of IPO, public listing. But I say my position will be a little bit peculiar because my power is as much as only you and Dr. Zhu is willing to actually give it to me because I'm your advisor. Then I say the road of corporatization, there will be a growing up pains, just like children as well. When we have children, we all gone through that phase, teenage, okay, and then become young adult. There will be a rebellious spirit. There will be a growing up pain. I say all the ways that you actually function, okay, the way you run the company. When I took a few weeks to study, you're still running a company like a proprietor, not even like a private limited. There's no proper system. I say the first things on corporatization is to create protocols and proper subculture. You need to have a very, very strong cultural identity of the company, whereby, okay, everybody will do the same thing, follow the same principle, all principle, but make sure based on good principle, not selfish principle. It must be, okay, moral principle. And then we'll go forward. So by having a proper protocol and proper principle, it will essentially guarantee that Dways will go on a long haul uniformly. What does it mean? It will minus away a lot of internal politics because there's a proper system, proper protocol, proper culture for everybody to duplicate and follow. In other words, means by adopting this strategy, you maximize productivity and greatly reduce cronyism in the company. And that's what they want. So Nancy Long, oh, great. Dr. Zhu, of course, liked my idea. I say, okay, Nancy, when I do 3 years of free services for you, at the time, they help them with the lawsuit, I've not charged Nancy Long even a single cent because I started off from basis of a friend. When friend help friend, you don't talk about money, isn't it? But of course, I didn't expect the lawsuit to be 3 years, last 3 years. I thought maximum 7-8 months and it'll be fine. Helping a friend 7-8 months is fine, since I've got nothing better to do because of the lockdown. But 3 years is very stretchy. And yet I have never demanded Nancy Long to pay me a single cent. But from time to time, when they buy me lunch or dinner, of course, I gracefully accepted it, of course. So I told Nancy Long, I said, Nancy, these 3 years, okay, you've been quite nice to me, right? I do my very best to actually help you, right? But there's no contract. So now that we're going to enter into this business, that I'm going to become your strategy advisor, all right? There's still no contract. And I don't believe in signing contract. You know why? Because when a person want to cheat you, whether there's contract or there's no contract, if the person want to cheat you, the person will still cheat you. But I totally believe in Dr. Zhu. I believe that he's a man of integrity. At the time before I know the real Nancy Long, I also have faith in Nancy Long. Since we are since our relationship is so harmonious, I say, fine, okay, let's do it. So when I enter in the picture as a corporate advisor, as a chief trainer and strategy advisor, there was no contract. So working out to things, the timeline is, okay, that there's literally several camps, different camps in Dways. At the very beginning stage, during the first batch of Dways, I wouldn't mention names, okay, there's already a camp. Now, this camp of people, somehow rather, according to Dr. Zhu and Nancy, says that at one point, they treated the management to say that, now, these are all our people. If you don't like us, we will go as a group. Straight away, I told Nancy and I told Zhu, I said, this kind of thing cannot be repeated. Because if this kind of thing is repeated, it will render the management powerless and your route to corporatization, right, will be gone. Your company will die before it reach maturity. So I step in. I say, we must put a proper order to things and make sure that there is no power vacuum for any agents or distributor to fill in, so that the proper authority goes back to the management. In other words, is no major agent or distributor stand alone is able to threaten the position of the management. That is a proper way of doing things. If you have a company, you would want your company to be in your hands, right? Not in the hands of your distributor. Am I right? So that's a proper way of doing things. But the first batch of power player went away. Immediately, there's already a power vacuum. And the second batch of people start emerging. I won't mention names. But this batch of people are much, much more, I would say, their methods are much more subtle, but much, much more effective. They went around basically spreading rumors and gossip. At the time when I was still their friend, they, in front of me, they acknowledge that I'm their friend, but behind they are already slowly poisoning my name, that I am a power grabber. That before Alvin Koh, the company was good. Since Alvin Koh comes in, Alvin Koh seems to put black magic on the two owners and owns them. And day in, day out, the owner will only listen to Alvin Koh. The rumors have already been spreading like crazy. But of course, being a strategy advisor of the owner, of course, the owner of the company will spend a lot of time with me. Yes or no? Of course, that is natural. Or else don't get an advisor if you don't want to listen to an advisor. Then we have Iris Koh. Besides being a strategy advisor to Dways, I have been with Iris for 2 years, and I have been HDD strategic advisor. For those of you who know, you know I have been an advisor to Iris for a long time. Okay, and to Raymond also. When I saw Iris in Dways too, I was delighted. Because why? Iris, having spent so much of her energy fighting for the underdogs, deserve a very good platform. Number one, that she can offer her financial stability. Number two, can offer her a platform that she can use to further her activism to save life. Isn't it good? So it was good. I said, Iris, I completely support you. Now that I'm also in a management, I think we are going to do Dways very, very well. Okay? Together, do Dways very well. But Iris was signed up and brought in by her uplines. There are 2 persons there. They are all HTD ex-members. This is a 2 person that is attempting to basically grab power in Dways. I won't mention names. So at the very beginning stage, everything seems fine. Since Iris is actually working so well with the 2 person, which is her upline, I left them alone. And the 2 person, on the surface, to everybody, they went around to say that they are also my good friends. And I also acknowledge that they are my good friends. If someone acknowledges you as a good friend, you know, in kind respect, you have to acknowledge back, right? For courtesy, I do acknowledge. But I do not know what, okay, I didn't expect, okay, that things would be aggravated to this stage. So what happened is that I told Nancy and Zhu, Dr. Zhu, that the best principle to propel this company in terms of sales strategy is to go by the power of 2. I wouldn't elaborate now. It's a sales strategy over here. The power of 2 essentially makes every agent do minimum and enjoy maximum benefits if they do it correctly. Because every generation self-monitor themselves. If every generation self-monitor themselves, then, right, you as an upline do very little. Isn't it a good idea? But the 2 person who attempt to grab power has got another idea, has got other ideas. They rather the company grow slightly slower as long as they're able to hold on the power. So what they do, they're pushing the health coach formula, which is opposite from the power of 2, which involve a lot of academic study before you become very good, and then you become a very good health agent. That will take, you know, castles are not built in one day. To become an extremely good health expert, don't you think you require at least a couple of years? Can you do a business, okay, to get a few years, to spare a few years for your distributor to be trained before they become very good, before they can actually go on the road show and make money, income for themselves and for the company? That will be a very odious, tedious road. That's why the 3 of us, being Nancy Long, Zhu, and me, disagree with that strategy, and we say that is no longer, we're going to get it off. The moment when we get off the health coach thing, all hell break loose. They begin, and of course, Iris and Raymond, being for very rule abiding, okay, they went back to their uplines and say, look, the company policy is by the power of 2. How come you guys are still pushing the health coach? You must follow the company policy, you know. And they were systematically and continuously being mocked as and belittled until quarrel erupted. At a stage, what happened? Nancy Long was still with us. So all things leading up to, okay, that they began to throw a lot of tantrum and began to also instigate Iris' team. Iris recruited 100 people. Her team is one of the largest in Dways. At many times, Nancy even said, I like Iris because she's so hardworking. She's the most hardworking distributor. Yeah, because Iris is there day in and day out. So what happened when Iris' team becomes very, very large? People get jealous. So at one point, okay, they even try to ambush Nancy Long and Dr. Zhu by deceitfully telling that, okay, Nancy Long and Dr. Zhu is going to basically meet a couple, which I will not mention him. But on a day when they want to meet the couple privately, about 15 people suddenly turn up from nowhere, which is the team, the power grabbing team, ambushed Dr. Zhu and Nancy Long. And later I was there too. Their objective is basically to launch a complaint, but they call it feedback, against Iris and Raymond, that they are extremely bad. But take a look. Over the last couple of months, or over the last few months, whosoever Iris recruited went into the camp of theirs. We do not know how it happens. It's just that they have got a ways to basically convince other people to listen to them. And once when you listen to them, they become the good person. The rest of the other people are all demons and devils. That's where they consolidate power. But people's ears are soft. So what can you do? So I disband the meeting, okay, and saying that they are entrapping the owners, okay, that the owner is supposed to talk to a couple, and yet they're using the opportunity to entrap the owner to launch an attack, not a complaint or feedback on Iris and Raymond. I say this is uncalled for. I stopped the whole entire meeting. Of course, I'm the bad person again because I stopped their plan. Next week is our first company's business company business meeting, right? CGM, company general meeting. In a meeting, I told Nancy and Dr. Zhu to take the opportunity not to mention names, but to stand strong on the point, okay, that there should be no cronyism, so on and so forth. So on that meeting itself, we managed to basically get everybody to listen. If they don't listen, we will mention names, so they better listen and take it as a warning. Everything was good until when we go for the award trip to Thailand. Once, okay, and they before we go to Thailand, we want basically get these 15 people. We created a night. It's called the reconciliation night. If you have got any unhappiness with Iris or Raymond or whatever, everybody should come and get together, okay, and talk about it, okay, and be happy about it and shake hands, maybe hug one another before we go to Thailand. So the Thailand trip will be fantastic. Guess what? 0 people turn up from their camp. 0 people turn up from the camp. That shows that they are not willing for a reconciliation. So nevertheless, I say, then I told Zhu and Nancy, I say, this cannot be. This is again, disrespectful to the management. So I wrote, okay, a letter of what? It's not even a letter of warning. A letter of reminder that they should not do what they shouldn't do. In my heart, I was saying, well, you don't want to come for reconciliation, but when all get to Thailand, you can't escape. We're all there for 3-4 days. During Thailand, I will give you this letter, okay, of reminder. When the letter of reminder was given to them in Thailand, all hell break loose in one morning. Rahim, remember? All hell break loose. It was a letter reminder. They make a big fuss of it and destroyed the whole entire holiday. So, 4 days later, the whole group came back to Singapore, except me, Nancy Long, and Zhu, because we prolonged our holiday, because the last 3 days we went to Pattaya. That is only for the 3 of us. During these 3 days, we haven't got an opportunity to relax at all. Breakfast, we talk about business. Lunch, we talk about business. Dinner, we talk about business. Supper, we also talk about business. And I have given the formula for the 2 of them, because I am going to Chiang Mai subsequently, right, for a month of meditation retreat. I told them the formula, when you get back to Singapore, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. You should isolate that team, call them up and tell them, are you going to listen tell any members of the team, are you going to listen to the two-person, the couple, or are you going to listen to your CEO and your director, Dr. Zhu? The moment once we ask them very direct questions like that, the rest of the other people will have no choice to say, of course, we will have to listen to the CEO and the director of the company. Then you have successfully isolated the perpetrator, the couple already. But instead of that, Nancy Long did not call upon Zhu, Dr. Zhu, to attend all the rest of the other interview. She did it all herself without Dr. Zhu at all. And what happened? After a week, I was still in Chiang Mai then. All hell break loose. Nancy Long did a 180-degree flip against Dr. Zhu and me and Iris and Raymond. A flip. That means we're supposed to go west. Now she marches what? She marches east.
She removed me from all the...
And then she removed
the
Iris and Raymond from all the presentation. Iris is one of the biggest recruiter. Of course, she is... her slot for presentation is quite a lot because she's very effective. Nancy Long removed Iris from all presentation almost. You give her no slot almost whatsoever. Now, these things happen. Okay? But that is not the gist of it. The gist of it is, I thought I know Nancy for a decade. How come this is a new Nancy that I've never seen it before? And I told Zhu, you have to talk to Nancy. Zhu said, I did. One day, I called Zhu and we went out. And Zhu tell me all that he has suffered under Nancy for the last 10 years. I will not be saying all these things without his permission. I wouldn't say it today. But Zhu literally is long suffering, has been basically suffered and manipulated in certain ways by Nancy for the last 10 years, even until the stage that he do Dways. After listening to his account, I realized, my goodness, the Nancy Long that I thought I know is not the real Nancy Long that I think I know. I begin to get extremely wary with this figure. As the days goes by, she began to take down my picture, which is hanging there as strategy advisor, okay, all right? And she don't even give me a courtesy call. It says that, Alvin, I think your strategy doesn't work, okay, but you are my friend, you help me so much, you never collect even a single cent with me, okay, single cent to help me in the lawsuit, okay, can we talk? Nothing. Every decision of hers was unilateral, take it down. And then leading up to basically to the sacking of Iris and Raymond, leading up to basically terminating, even attempt to terminate Dr. Zhu as a director of the company. Because of that, Dr. Zhu, okay, was inspired and was triggered to literally go to check the account. And when he went to the bank as a director to check the account, he discovered there's a large discrepancy in the accounting. And on top of that, he asked for Nancy Long, okay, to pass the account to him for checking. Because under the Companies Act, Section 199, total there are 5 clauses there, that the directors and the company's account must be put in a safe but reachable area for all directors to check 24/7, and that is an act. That means an act means what? Is already passed on as a law already. But Nancy Long refused. So the question is, if your account is neat and proper, is there a reason to refuse if your account is neat and proper? So we will not go to that, because at the end of the day, there is no contract between me and Nancy Long, okay? And she has got an upper hand. In other words, she do not need to compensate me a single cent, despite me helping her to win the lawsuit and save literally over $1 million dollars. She already have made it very unequivocally that she will not award me a single cent, because she says that I, together with Iris and Raymond, are the culprit behind, okay, making a nuisance of this company that instigate Dr. Zhu, okay, to stand up for himself. No. To tell you the truth, Dr. Zhu wanted to leave Nancy many times already. When I came into the picture and I proposed to Nancy my new plan together with Dr. Zhu, Dr. Zhu was euphoric that I came into the picture and hoped that I can change Nancy's mind and even her attitude. There's also on 2 occasions when Zhu realized that Nancy will not play fair and attempt to actually leave Dway. Nancy literally called me at the middle of the night, okay, in sobbing ways, asking me to do something to retain Zhu. I say I did not expect this. That time, Zhu haven't told me the whole story yet, okay, about his 10 years suffrage with Nancy. I told Nancy, I'm only your, okay, strategic advisor. I did not expect this, that I must go even to the stage that I must become, a matchmaker of your partnership. I didn't expect to do this kind of things. I said, but anyway, let me try. That is where I created the first dinner at my place. All right. And we even went to the balcony, okay, because Zhu and me are all passionate cigar smoker. So we have things in common. So we smoke a cigar, but of course on me, not on Nancy Long. Okay. So we smoke a cigar, and I told Zhu that he would have a good future in Dways. But at the time, I do not know much about the real aspect of Nancy Long. So I managed to get Zhu to stay back on 2 accounts. But there are many accounts over the years that Zhu wanted to leave Nancy already. But now, conveniently, Nancy says that I am the one, together with Iris and together with Raymond, is the one that is there's a catalyst to induce Zhu leaving. I think Zhu just now already have given you his opinion as well as also his stand on where he's coming from. All right. So I need not go further anymore. I do not believe that Nancy Long will award me for the time of 3.5 years that I spent to help her save about $1 million or more and won, okay, her lawsuit against her ex-partner. I do not believe that she will compensate me any. But to be fair, okay, the last 1 month plus, okay, when Zhu and me confronted her, we managed to basically get her to at least pay me, okay, a token of 10,000. To be fair, that one has been I received 10,000. But for 3.5 years, okay, you go and divide $10,000 with 3.5 years. I'm one of the lowest paid philosopher in Singapore. Okay, I'm one of the lowest paid professional. All right. Okay. So without further ado, okay, what I want to express is these are only my personal experience with Nancy Long and with Dr. Zhu. I want to tell you, okay, that when Dr. Zhu told me the whole story about how Nancy Long has treated him, tears came down from my eyes. I cannot believe it. I really cannot believe it that he is a PhD holder, 2 master degree. My qualification, I'm a philosopher. I can tell you seriously, he has more certificate than me. And yet his pay is sucks. And Nancy doesn't even want to acknowledge the fact that he is the sole creator of the 20 over products since the inception of Dway. Nancy now doesn't want to acknowledge the fact. Nancy now, right now, together with her cronies, together with the company secretary, is also attempting to get rid of Zhu and get him off from directorship. Because the moment once when you're no longer a director, you cannot interfere with the company affairs, and then there will be no one to check her account. I'm telling you at this point, we are consolidating evidence to bring the case to CPIP. This company will not see daylight when you have this kind of gloominess looming of potential corruptions, potential cronyism and favoritism, okay, roaming the skies of Dway. So we must set the tone correct. I, for once, together with Iris, together with Raymond, and some of our very staunch supporter, yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. We'll go all the way to make sure that they will not bully the products creator of Dways, Dr. Zhu.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I pass the time back to Iris.